Good afternoon, everyone. It is Friday, November 10th, and it just so happens that today is the Marine Corps birthday. So, if any Marines out there happen to see this video, happy birthday, and don't get too wild out there. I've been there, done that, got in trouble a couple of times during the Marine Corps birthday, and nothing bad, but I got chewed out a couple of times. In any case, getting straight into the video that I said I was going to go ahead and do. So, mods. I put the steering wheel on the Boss. Speaking of which, I am driving the Boss today. And what I did was that I found a guy out in California who was selling his 2012 GT leather steering wheel. Like I said before, I wanted to replace the one that comes in the Boss that has that, suede, or what they call Alcantara, or whatever the hell it is. And I didn't like it. Sometimes when I would grip the steering wheel, my palms would start to sweat. And I didn't like that feeling. Over time, with anything that's cloth or suede and stuff like that, over time, your sweat is going to get stuck on that, and the fabric is going to start to smell. At least with leather, you can treat it, wipe it down, use special chemicals or whatever the case might be, a cleaner, to clean it off, and it just comes right off. Now, by comparison to my Cobra, this is a dark gray leather, and the Cobra had that tan. So even if I get this steering wheel a little bit dirty, it's not going to be visible because it's dark gray. And for the purposes of this video, I decided to kind of skip over, showing the steering wheel, because it's a steering wheel. If you've seen one steering wheel, you've seen them all. We all know how the Mustang steering wheels look like, and for what? It's a simple 2012 GT steering wheel, leather. It was almost brand new when I bought it, and by almost, I mean literally, the guy put about 2,000 miles on his car and then took off the steering wheel. It's brand new. So I'm just going to skip over that. Just if you want to go ahead and Google what the steering wheel looks like, go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to go ahead and get on to the main, what I would consider mod that I did to the car. And I'll go ahead and preface by saying that in a 2012 car, so relatively newer car, from first to second, when I would go into second and sometimes third, I would get this grind feel. Now, I know the difference between notch and grind. Notch, I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out there. I have driven many different types of Mustangs with different transmissions. I've driven a Cobra with a T56. I've driven a Cobra with a 3550, the T45, the T5. That thing was just a nightmare. And now the MT-82 in the newer S197s and S550s. And let me tell you, this transmission is a great transmission. By no means it is a trash transmission. It is a great transmission. Here's the problem though. People knock on it because there's other issues that the transmission has, but is caused by other components. The shifter is one. You don't get those clear shifts because of the shifter moving around. The bushings are trash, and it flexes. It's no good. The shifter sucks from stock. And then the high RPM lockouts, like I'm experiencing, but that has nothing to do with the transmission. That is a combination of both shifter and clutch. In my mind, why the hell did I get a Boss with a trash clutch? Ford, even the newer S550s, the clutch are better, but they're not much better. And even the GT350 clutch are not that, much better. What makes that car different is the transmission. It has a trimming. But if you would have put the MT-82 in the GT350, I bet you a shitload of people would have been complaining. So anyway, I digress. Let me get back to what I was talking about. So the MT-82, great transmission by far from what I've ever experienced. Here's the thing: grind, third, second, going into second and third, sometimes fourth. After doing, again, many months of research, I pretty much narrowed it down to one thing. One thing that could help, well, two things that could help that go away. One, replace the transmission with something from Ben Calamer. Not practical. At, I think, $1,200 or $1,800 for one of his transmissions rebuilt. Not cost effective. Second, people say to change out the transmission fluid. Now, Ford did go through this stage early on in the 2011s and 2012s where people were complaining about that, and Ford basically said, oh, you know what, sorry, we used the wrong type of transmission fluid, this is the one that you should go with, right? Now, I looked at the owner's manual for my car, and it says that out of the factory, by comparison to the GTs, this car already had that fluid that they changed to. Okay, so after doing research, people said change the fluid. So I said, all right, fine, I'll start there. Rather than to throw a shitload of money on parts that I don't need and don't need right now, and just not cost effective to trying to resolve the problem, then I said, all right, I'll start with the fluids. Now, there were several vendors out there I could have gone to, or several brands. I could have gone with the Red Line, MTL something. I could have gone with the Royal Purple. I believe Lucas had something that they were offering. Or I could have said, you know what, let me go, I'll go back up to Ford and I'll just change out with the fluid, so at least it's now within OE specs. And I hate when people just pull up next to you and they're just driving, because I'm talking to a camera and it just seems weird. Anyway, so moving on. So I could have done any of those four. However, there was this one that a lot of people use, and it's called BG SynchroShift II, which is what I surmised too. So BG SynchroShift II or 2, right? It comes in a packet, 2.8 liters in the bottle. The transmission holds 2.6, so it's relatively exact, allows for minor spillage, and it comes in a little package. It has like this nozzle that you attach to the bottle, and has a pump, and it's designed for people to change out this fluid at home. Me, I don't have jack stands, I don't have ramps. That's a lie, I do have ramps, but in this particular case, jack stands work the best, and me, I didn't have the time and I wanted it done right now, so I took it to a acquaintance of mine that owns a shop, and he had some time, and he did the change. Excuse me. So like I said, first to second, grind, sometimes third, very little, but it would happen in fourth. Also, it would happen very much so during cold start, so when the fluid is still cold. The problem with that is that I'm not going to sit there for 10, 15, 20 minutes to the temperatures come up to 10, because it literally takes maybe about 2 to 3 minutes for the car to get warmed up and then you're on the go. Well, that's usually what I do. I at least let the fluids go through the entire engine and then I go. That should be an acceptable range of time for you to go ahead and be able to be on the road if it's cold. So that was the second issue that was happening. It was happening with cold starts. And sometimes, even when the car was warmed up or when the fluids were warmed up, I would go to one stoplight, right, go on, shifts like butter. But then I stop at another stoplight, go to shift, and it grinds. What the hell? Really inconsistent. I don't understand what was happening there. And I got this truck in front of me. Oh, man, traffic, I'll tell you. So here's what happened. I said I'm going to change it. Changed it, and let me tell you, the difference that made was so noticeable that I don't recommend a particular brand or product to anybody unless I think it is well worth the money. The fluids that are in this transmission has got to be on point. Because I've even heard people, when they use Redline and Royal Purple, that it still didn't necessarily resolve their issues after changing that fluid. Now the weight from factory is 75W90. The weight of the BG SynchroShift is 75W80. So at cold, when I turn this car on, I go through my normal process. I to minimize as many variables, I'm doing the same thing with the BG fluids than what I did with the stock fluids. Let the oil go through all the components and then take off. Cold starts. This thing shifts like butter. Now, I still feel a little bit of notchiness, but okay. Notchiness is not a bad thing. At least to me. To me, it lets me know that, hey, you went into gear. It is a positive feedback. Some people like it, like myself. Some people don't. But it's ever so slight. So it's not even like a hard notch. In any case, cold starts right off the bat. You go and it shifts like butter. When the temperatures come to temp, you can't even feel the notchiness anymore. The little notch that you would feel when the car is cold, you can't even feel that. This fluid has got to be the best investment that I have given to this car. $90, with tax. $90 for the fluids with tax, and then $100 to have somebody change the fluids out for me. If somebody were to do this at home, $90. That is all you paid, and about an hour of your time to change out the fluids if you have the hardware to do so. Again, now I have actually re-fallen in love with my car, because before I hated the fact that I had that grinding in there. I hated the hell out of it. Now that it shifts ever so smoothly, I have fallen in love with this car again. If you own a MT-82 equipped car, whether it be V6, 4-cylinder, V8, doesn't matter. If you have an MT-82 and you have not changed out your fluids, you don't know what the hell you're missing out on. Again, I don't like to recommend brand or products, but BG SynchroShift 2 or II has to be by far the best investment that I have done. If you have not done so, go buy this fluid and go change out that stock trash that's in your transmission right now. I promise you, you will not regret it. In any case, guys, that's all I got for you. This video is running almost 15 minutes long, maybe a little bit more. Thank you for watching. I know it was long-winded, but I see it as a learning experience for other individuals that are trying to do stuff to their cars and they can't get any real answers. If you see any of my videos, you can you can right off the bat tell that I am as real as they come. I'm not gonna try and sell you something that I haven't personally used. It worked for me. Does that mean it will 100% work for you? Maybe, maybe not. But I'd be willing to bet $1 that if you were to change out the fluids in your transmission for that BG SynchroShift, you will not be disappointed. In any case, guys, thank you very much for watching. Marines, happy birthday. Enjoy your day. Be safe out there. Tomorrow's Veterans Day. Go shake the hand of a veteran. Thank them for the service, because remember, they took an oath to defend you and your rights when others are out there committing crimes and stealing and being assholes to society. So thank them for your service. Thank those who are in active service. And it might not be the best country. The US might not be the best country, or I should say the perfect country, but I will take her over any country out there. Thank you very much. God bless America. God bless all of you. Have a good Veterans Day. Have a good weekend. Thank you for watching. And as always, keep dreaming big. Thank you, guys.